Dumelang Sanbonani and welcome to the Ungasali International Storytelling Festival 2022. This is day number 2 of the Storytelling Festival. Yesterday's day was a blast. I was not there myself, but today I am here. We are in the theme that is almost blessing me every time that I think of it, because we are surviving through challenging times, especially COVID-19 times, and we continue to tell the stories. Today now, we have amazing performers, amazing storytellers, and one of which is an international storyteller. She is all the way from Uganda, so you don't want to miss that one. They are all coming up right here. So to give you a list of who's going to be performing live today is we have Riatile, we have Zoe the storyteller, we have Muano, we have Maria, and we also have Bantu. So stick around for that one. It's going to be amazing performances, and all the stories are going to be told here today. Do make sure that you stream us live on our website, and you also check us out, because today, or this year, we are coming live to you from our social media platforms, including YouTube. Check us out.
You may have heard of Tlatlamatlolo or Nkulunkulu, but what you may not have heard of is that the Greeks experienced creation differently. Lefatshe lena le ne le sena sebopeho. Moya o no itsamela kwana. Metsi a hulela kwana. Mobu o hulela kwana. Ho sena sebopeho, ho sena ho hong hodima ho hong. Ha o go hata lefatshe be le ke tla o ka wela. Ha o go kena metsing, o no ke wa sesa le ka ga metsi ana o bana. Ana a matha sebakeng. Le moya ona o phusela hohle. Yaba ho hloka ho bonahala hore hona le tlhoko e kgolo. Tlhoko ya hore ho be le tlhophiseho. Order. Me Gaia. Mofumahadi Gaia. Jwale ka nne gona ho kopanya lelapa. A ipolella hore o tla tlisa hore ho be le taolo, ho be le order mona lefatsheng. Jwale a nka morero a lata mobu ona o lata a hula bukeletsa fela o hlela lo thulla a tshwara a tla o bea ho yana mona mme a kolata le moya a o lata a o hula lona a o hula o tlisa ho yana a tla o bea mobu ona a tshwarela mobu ona a lata metsi lona a hula a lata ona ka a hula kaofela hona o hula bukeletsa a metsi a ka a bukeletsa a tlisa ona mo me tshwarela ha mmo a qalela ho di bukeletsa mmo a di pekela la mo a di tisa di tshwareletse ha mmoho mo hore di be di kopane mme a qalela a di bidikisa tsa bidika a di bidikisa ho mhliletse di entse rondo e bolo e ketjeng mme di tshwareletse mono le hona mono tsa ka di itutla ya bo di tshwareletse o di peteleditse o di entse mmoho jwalo mme a di tshwara di tlama mono ha ka hore a di tshwareletsa mono hore ho se ke bo ba le engwe e phonyohang tsa tshwara di tisa mo a di tshwara ho fihlelletse di be di tlwaela ho phela mmoho ya hantse di nolofala di amohela hore bophelo bo teng di kgona ho phela mmoho a qalela ho lokulla le tshwaro la hae ho tsona a nna di tlohela hanyane ya ba o boetse hape o ntsa lokulla pela hae mono a lokulla tlohela hanyane a bona hore na e nngwe e behave jwang a sheba a bona boitshwaro ba bongwe a bona hore e ka re di se di batla di tlwaetse le tsona se di amohetse hore ha motho e hlile ke phela le yena ke phela le moya ke phela le metsi ke phela le mobu mme wa qalela jwalo yaba moya o se o qalela ho amohela metsi mme popa se tswa le metsi yaba metsi lona a popa se tswa le mobu le ona wa popa se tswa le moya mme metsi wa ngobetswa ke mobu ona wa ngobetswa ke metsi le ona a nkuwa ke moya a phamisetswa hodimo a nkela hodimo mme moatla ho hela ile metsi hodima lefatshe mme bophelo ba qalella ho ba teng qalela ka dimiranyana dipalesanyana mme dipalesa di le teng dinonyana tsa qalella ho kgahlwa mme tsa atamela wa qala wa ba ho tala a sheba Gaia a fumana hore ruri jwale lefatshe le na le sebopego mme se sebopego fela sebopego se se ha sa shebile jwalo ka ya a kgahlwe ke mosebetsi wa hae a hopola hore o na le bana babo bana babo e leng Tartarus le Eros. Tartarus yena e ne e le modimo wa ka tlasa lefatshe. Eros yena e le modimo wa lerato. Kaya a ipotsa hore na ha ka nqena e le Tartarus jwale ka nqena e le Eros batho ba babedi ke tlo sebetsa jwang le bona ba Tartarus ile o la hlakgahlwa ke lefatshe ka mokgone le ka teng mme a itjwetsa hore nna ke batho ya bo ke batho ba karolo ya ntho e ntle eno mme a santse ikgethela hore na yena o tla dula phaposing e feng. Eros le na ha bona botle a utlwa a tlalwa ke lerato mme a batla go le yena e be karolo ke Eros ke Tartarus jwale ka ya salama ke tsona jwale ke tlo sebetsa jwang le batho ba babedi medimo e mmedi.
Kanyonyi kateme konzera balikaita, kanyonyi kateme konzera balikalya. Hello everyone, my name is Zoe the storyteller from Uganda. Have you ever been in a challenging situation? Did you ever come out? Well, my people tell a story of a young boy who was born and his parents died and he had to grow up with his poor grandmother. One day when he was of age and he needed to get married, he did not have dowry, emali, ola bola. He cried to his grandmother, who went in the hut and brought him omuigo, his father's walking stick. She said that's all the father had left him. And for all the days, he slept wondering what to do with the stick. And then one day, he got the stick and he walked around the village. Oh, he met young boys who were shooting mangoes, ripe mangoes. And he suggested that they use his stick, then they would be able to collect many mangoes. What a brilliant idea it was. And the boys collected lots of mangoes, but on their last shoot, the stick got stuck in the branches. And the young man said, "Ntakamuigo gwange, gwaliti gwange, babati yampabusa, yampaire kufuna mukali." And he told them he wanted his stick back because his father gave it to him to get a wife. The young boys collected mangoes and gave to him, and he went carrying the mangoes on his head. He found mourners. He suggested they looked hungry. They could taste some of his ripe mangoes. Oh, the mourners loved the mangoes, and they finished the mangoes. And the young man said, "Ntakamiyembe jange, bampaire mwigo gwange, omwigo tigwali gwange, gwali gwa baba, yampaire kufuna mukali." He told them he wanted his mangoes back. He got the mangoes from the stick that his father got him to get a wife. The mourners, they gave him ropes for cattle, and he walked with the ropes in his hands. And he found farmers. The farmers had many cattle, and the cows were disturbing them, running here and there. He suggested that if they used his ropes, the animals would be tamed. All the cattle keepers said it was a good idea. They got his ropes and tied the animals, but the animals were too strong, and the ropes got broken. They were not new, and the young man said, "Ntaka, miguwa jange, tijali jange, najifunira umiyembe, muyembe tijali jange, najifunira umwigo, omwigo tigwali gwange, gwali gwa baba, nyampeire kufuna mukali." He said he wanted his ropes. He got the ropes from his mangoes. He got the mangoes from his father's stick, which his father gave him to find a wife. And the cattle keepers gave him lots and lots of cattle to take home. And he walked home a rich young man. And all the fathers in the village desired that he got married to their daughters. He was now rich. He chose to get married to the village's richest man's daughter. And when the girl was coming to get married to him, her father gave her lots of goats, lots of cattle, and the young man was so rich. Now tell me, you have all it takes to get you out of your challenges. The young man used a stick. What do you have? Thank you.
Mutabo ndi munhu anobva ngeiChenduru. Ubva ngeiChenduru kusini kunwe zoba zvichikonda uwana zoula. Mutabo ova munhu wa muzvimi. Mutabo ovuwa ngamacheloni aimanda asedza kubva dhuva lichikubva zvakuti yonaka. Asedza ngwa dzawe adibusoro namusi ndingalamini. Ndasala nditopedzisira ndichikorova nangwa dzanga dzisikola chitu. Mutabo odosidza ngwa dzawe adzibudzisa anga dzingapindura. Ngwa dzawe dzisikomusedza achikwamba ayete. Mutabo opedza ene muno todibudza uri ukhodo ya uzvima. Mutabo orusidza dhakani. Aliva dhakani ngwa dzawe dzamutevera. Ngwa dzawe dziazvidiva uri Mutabo abuya asidza dhakani, abuya aliva dhakani ukhoya uzvima. Mutabo orubva nangwa dzawe atuwa opumula achidodoma. Ngwa dzawe nadzo dziazvidiva dzoba dzopfumbudzwa zvituku nga uzvima, dzoba dzofundidzwa zvoba dzichituku. Mutabo orudodoma na dhaka ene mune aldipumulera. Ngwa dzawe nadzo dziba dzisaiti phosho, dziba dzikododoma dzikosedza. Mutabo ori opumula hanepo atomupfa ngwa nthihi ikhohuva. Ngwa dziazviita dziakona uhuva musi dzichitoma uta dzichiwana chitu chithihi chine changa dzanga chigidimedza. Mutabo orupfa ngwa nthihi atoma ugidima. Achigidima hanepala matsina ngwa yawe yayobvusa. Ngwa iyo yaiva yobvusa mubudha. Mubudha uyo wokugidima lumwe. Mutabo orubona izo atoma ubidzera alidza khombole abidzera ngwa dzawe. Achibidzera ngwa dzawe dzatoma ugidima dzothe dzoliva haningei. Dzotoma ugidimedza ula mubudha dzothe dzoliva haningei. Mutabo nene aninge abizi nodzikongwedza nga khombole. Ngwa dzorugidimedza ntsa dzorugidimedza mubudha dzatoma ugidima dzikotoma uneta. Mutabo zvezvo akadigidimedza mubudha hambo dzitoma ubvelera yone ntsa yorubvelera. Mutabo atoma udhadho uri udazviitisa hani ngori ngwa adzichatoma ugidimedza mubudha dzivogidimedza ntsa dzari dzichitoma ubona ntsa dzasedza yone. Mutabo achaita zviro zva mubudha onotoma osedza ntsa. Ntsa yorugidima ichitamuwa Mutabo aitevera ngobona ngwa dzawe dzichigogidimedza yone. Mutabo achanepo akadigidima nene muno ubotoma uneta. Ngwa idzo dzoba dzonova tsini nofara ntsa. Then ngwa thuku kugwanana kwatoma ubva nga imwe ndira. Matsina kugwanana koba kobona chimwe chacho bvusa chimwe. Echo chigwanana chorugidima chaliva ka imwe ndira. Mutabo abotoma uboreya naye zvino ubozvibona uri ngwa dzawe dzichaita zvithu zvithihi. Ngwa dzo dziva dzibhizi nokugidimedza ntsa hambo dziva ukubvelela ngulube dhaka. Ngulube dhaka yorubvelera ikugidima lumwe. Zvambo dijia maga othe auri ngwa dzichasedza kha ntsa. Ngwa dzatoma usedza ila ngulube dhaka. Ngulube dhaka yobe ikugidima lumwe na zvibanana zvayo. So ngulube ichigogidima na zvibanana zvayo zvambo dita uri ngwa nadzone dzitoma usedza ngulube dhaka. Mutabo ambotoma ulicha zva ntsa agidimela ngulube dhaka. Ari abizi nogidima zvezvo ngulube dhaka yobe ina manda manji aichafana na musi matombo nakugidimedza mubudha. Ngulube dhaka yorugidima yatoma usiya dzila ngwa na Mutabo nene mune oba ononeta. Mutabo orugidima azibona uri achakona kugidima na ngwa. Ngwa dzamusiya asara ogwadama pasi. Ngwa nadzone adzichana Mutabo kudziranga upanda. Ngwa dzichigidimedza ngulube dhaka yambodzidzisiya. Mutabo achikadzitevera ngwa dzawe. Achidzitevera aona ngwa dzawe nadzone dzoba dzonosikudzura pasi amuri. Matsina ngwa dzoba dzoneta ngogidimedza ngulube dhaka. Kelo dhuva Mutabo opedza asongola chitu. Opedza usiku hothe asongola chitu achikogungura. Moral of the story was that you have to focus on one thing. Thank you.
koko Mmasitšhele wa lwala o lwala bolwetse ba botsofe o na le dingwaga di le 80 tsatsi lengwe o itse wa tsoa o tlhapa ko ntlwaneng ya botlhapelo a tsoga a tsaya toulo ya gagwe a itata ka yona a re o tsamaya o ya ko bathroom khanti o tswa ka monyako o ya ko ntlong ya baagisane koko Mmasitšhele a fitlha ko ntlong ya baagisane a bula monyako a kena ka mo ntlong ya batho a fitlha a tsena mo kamoreng ya ntlha a bula monyako monga ntlo ga a utlwa mogasa wa maoto o re gwa a tsoga re ke mang a utlwa motho a sa bule a tsoga ha bula monyako a kry-a koko Mmasitšhele a tshoga a re jo baagisane motho sho o tshwareile ke moloi thusang a hweletsa baagisane ba tla ba šiana ka makatlana mane ba fitlha ba kry-a koko Mmasitšhele a itatile ka toulo ebile a sena taba le bone a sa apara sepe a itatile ka toulo a re o tlhapa mo ntlong ya batho ba re ke moloi a re mo tshwarele ba mo tshwara ba mo itaya ba mo gwela kwa ntle a ba fetsa mo gwela kwa ntle koko Mmasitšhele a re ntlogeleng ga se nna moloi ngwana wa gae a setlogolo a fitlha a lebelela ke koko wa lwala koko a se moloi wa lwala koko mo tlogeleng ke a le kopa tlhe mo tlogeleng ke koko wa ka ba re tsamaya wena re a go mo fisa gobane ke moloi o tshwaregile mo ntlong ya batho koko Mmasitšhele a re wa kgopela tshwarelo a wela fa fase setlogolo sa šiana sa bitsa mapodisa 1011 mapodisa thusang itlang ka pele koko wa ka ba mmolaya ba re ke moloi o tshwareile mapodisa itlang ka pela mo number 314 koko ba mmolaya ba re ba mo fisa ke moloi mapodisa wi a fitla mapodisa a fitla hands off ba tsa koko Mmasitšhele ba mo lokela ka veneng ba bua ba re molato ke ba re koko o tshwareile ka mo ntlong ya batho o na batla o tlo loya mapodisa a tsa koko Mmasitšhele ba mo isa sepetlele doctor ya fitla sepetlele ya mo tlhatlhoba ya kry-a a na le bolwetse ba go lwala ha kelello bolwetse bo ha ba botlhatlhoba ba kry-a le gore ke bolwetse ba botsofe mo koko a ka bona ntho e nngwe le nngwe e sa lokang ba re ke bolwetse ba dementia koko Mmasitšhele o tshwere ke bolwetse bo mo doctor ya re mooki tsamaya o ruta batho bale gore bo koko ga ba tsofala ba na le malwetse a bogolo a o tsofala ba ka lwala ba ka bona dilo tse ntšhi ba ka bona dinoga ba ka bona ntho tse tshosang mooki a fitlha a bitsa batho ba motsa re e tlang kwano bomme le bontate le bana ke le botse bonkgono bo koko ha ba lwala ha ba tsofala ba lwala matlalo a bona a sosobana difatlho tsa bona di a kobofala ba tswa le mekhino namile ba re ke baloi ha ba latlhelwa ke kelello ya go tsena mo dintlong tsa batho kapa ba tsamaya fela mo strateng le ba thuse mooki a re ra utlwana ba re ba re bjano le ya ke lo go bolaya koko Mmasitšhele ka bolwetse bo ba go lwala koko Mmasitšhele ha lwale a loyi wa lwala bjano lena le re wa loya mokukeng le mo tshware ka lerato ha wa le mo tshware le mo kuke le mo freife le mo be mo fase le mo fetee kelello ha e tla tlhapoela gore mo kae le mo tsee ka lerato le mo ise kwa hae ke a leboa setlogolo sa ka koko Mmasitšhele wa bolela o ile wa mpholosa ke a leboga
Nankumende Congo, wasikumende Congo, Nankumende Congo, wasikumende Congo, Nankumende Congo, wasikumende. It was not very long time ago, but long enough for our people to remember the history of their existence. Ibali lethu started in the village of Mbondoland in the Eastern Cape. A simple but troubled lives of young and matured men, and all they wanted was to make a living for their families. The only way to do this was to leave their village and join the other men who had taken an old return trip in a ship to work in countries they've never heard or dreamed of before, knowing that they might never see the sun set in the land of their forefathers again. They braved the situation and took their chances. Balulekile kodwa kwakumele kuba sithethiwe. The night before the journey seemed so long for the Mbondoland men. Bangqunqa becula ubusuku bonke, making time with their families. Kula kwetini kabawo house nazo kwetini kabawo. Kwathi kwakusekuseni, when the morning came, a big sound from the truck that was moving from village to village, picking up men, yafika kwilali yabo. They heard a big horn sound outside that almost awakened everyone in the village. Amadoda semambondweni akhwela kaloku ngasemva enqweleni entshintshi yawo kubhekisa eKapa in the Western Cape. Ezandleni zawo ayephethe induku zabo ecula indlela yonke. Waqula kwetini kabawo house nazo kwetini kabawo. On their arrival, they heard the steaming horn ship bellowing, boo, signaling that it was about to sail from Cape Town harbor. One by one, the men entered and lowered their heads, looking down, and assumed their positions on the decks. Izanam, Masambe, let us all go through the excitement, the shock, and the sad ending of the story of the South African Native Labour Corps, particularly the sinking of the troop ship Mendi. This is one of the most fascinating stories ever related in the South African military history. It was on the 16th of January 1916 when the ship Mendi sailed from Cape Town, heading to Le Havre in France, with the last group of the South African Native Labour Corps of the 5th Battalion, made up of 823 men, mostly from the rural areas of the Mbondoland Kingdom, eMampondweni in the Eastern Cape. Lamadoda sailed from the First World War north. It was nearly 4 weeks that the 4,230-ton troop ship reached Plymouth after having stopped at Lagos and Sierra Leone. Nikhumbule ukuthi many of these men in the ship couldn't speak English, especially the South Africans, black South Africans. And they were not allowed to carry weapons, especially guns, as there was a fear that they might rebel against the military or civil war authorities. Training a black man to carry guns was not allowed by the white government. They felt that when they came back, they might lead black army to fight against them. Thousands volunteered, and many arrived at the area of conflict. But those that were with Umendi never reached their destination. Umendi, on the 20th of February 1917, left Plymouth heading to Le Havre in the late night. But as she was traveling, there was one other ship, SS Dalro, a larger ship with a ton of 11,484 tons. This was a British mail ship. It was traveling on a full speed in a thick fog without sounding its fog's warning. SS Dalro penetrated into the Mandy, and it broke Mandy into half. Because the ship was broken into half, it sank within 25 minutes. All the men were pitched into the icy waters. Many couldn't swim, and they couldn't see even further than few feet. 33 British crew, 9 white officials and NCOs, with 607 black South Africans died. Amongst those black South Africans who died were prominent men of this country, like the Chief of Mpondoland, Henry Pokleni, Mkhonyo Bangani, Arndamase, and Reverend Isaac W. Joba, who have calmed down the men during the moment of grief. He called upon them and rendered one of S.K. Mkhai's poem, saying, "Be quiet and calm, my countrymen, for what is happening here is what you came to do. We are all going to die." You see, the ship that penetrated into Mendi, SS Daro, was owned by Elder Dempster. And it couldn't do anything. The few that were around, like the destroyer HMS Briggs, lowered its lifeboats to help bring over 200 survivors to safety. But Dalro, whose captain was responsible for the tragedy, did nothing. It is assumed that he just panicked and didn't know what to do. But the long lingering suspicion is that Captain Stump and his officers didn't want to bring those men to board their ship, as they didn't want black men in their ship. An inquest had judged that Captain Stump was responsible for the accident. And he was given a punishment that was thought to be suitable for him. His license was suspended for a year. Just a year. On the receiving of the news of the disaster, all the members of the House of Assembly, under the then Prime Minister, Louis Botha, and the celebrated Boer War hero, rose on their seats as a token of respect to the fellow South Africans who had gone down with SS Mende. It is said that all the black tribes in South Africa were aware of the disaster before they were advised by the government. The story of SS Mende is the story of supreme courage in the face of death and bravery shown by brothers towards each other during dire circumstances. And this is the story that we need to tell our children. This story will remain a legend in the military history. SS Mende, 1917. Combo, nango Mende, combo, waziko Mende, combo, nango Mende, combo, nango Mende. And this is where I will rest my story. Khosi, Khosi, diyahlala.
It's been a lovely day filled with fun and more storytelling right here for the Ungasali International Storytelling Festival 2022. Day number 2 has been a blast. I cannot breathe myself because the storytellers have just kept it coming, dishing it out. But hey, for more storytelling, we are coming back tomorrow with another exciting day, day number 3 of the International Ungasali Storytelling Festival. You don't want to miss that one, so please subscribe, tell your friends and everyone that you love to come along tomorrow because we have more international storytellers. Tomorrow we have 2 international, so you don't want to miss that one. My name is Theo Chaka, and this has been the Ungasali International Storytelling Festival 2022. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.